And here we go. Quiero ver el sol salir, el mundo entero descubrir.
Hello guys, my name is Enrique, and I'm about to present the animator Enrique Gato. Enrique Gato was born in the 70s, and he's an animation filmmaker in 2D and 3D designer, and known as the creator of Tadio Jones. He was an avid fan of comics and of course a variety of action-packed flicks like the Secret of the Incas and of course comic strips from any variety of Europe, like Morten Phil, which is Mortadelo and Filemon, and of course he was an avid fan of Steven Spielberg as a grand example, which of course I consider him as the Spanish equivalent of the artist Steven Spielberg himself. And so when 3D started to experiment at those times in the 80s specifically, he got a home computer called Amstrad CPC, which is short for Color Personal Computer, in which that made him able to create his own video games, which I don't know which was it, but then again you get the point that with those elements he got the opportunity to be enhanced on the technical aspect, and so because at those times there was no way to get involved artistically in the field of 3D, since it was a new thing in the 1990s, for example, and of course the 1980s. He got no choice but to get enrolled in the Informatic Institute, where he learned to develop game engines to preview his works and understand how the 3D geometric previews work by using several programs, in which he learned to use once he got hired by Artex, by this industry Artex, in which he programmed his learning skills by using TrueSpace, Lightweight 3D, and especially the main versions of Maya, which was mostly used by the technical aspects of Pixar. And speaking of which, and as you can see, all the TrueSpace, Lightweight 3D, all the examples, and of course Maya, like Pixar used. He also made, before the real Toy Story was released, his own Toy History type of film, which it was kind of like a spoof, but at this point it is unavailable to watch for unknown reasons, and even I failed to ask the studio with a specific contact number or any contact with Enrique Gato from LinkedIn to know more about his mysterious project. But hey, at least it was interesting to know about this, to mention it. So it was an experimental purpose. I meant. So eventually when finalizing his technical studies, he made another couple of personal short films, including one based on one of the comic strips that is Sepler Lopez by Juan Lopez, aka Jan, which was one of his artistic influences. And while working on some random projects, including one short film from another Spanish animator, which is also unavailable, he got credited as an animator in some video games, of course, which is Praetorians, whatever it is pronounced, and Commando 3 Destination Berlin, which he perfected his skills as character animation in digital standard, or CGI standard, I would say that. And finally, he suddenly got communication with La Fiesta PC, which is a production company from Spain that was impressed with what he crafted, that they founded him to create a couple of short films featuring an animated parodic character of his, which is Tadio Jones, based on the iconic Indiana Jones, which both gathered him a variety of awards for a start, which eventually collaborated with his artistic idol Juan Lopez to craft comic book forms of his character Tadio Jones, which is The Secret of Truck, which is very rare to find actually, or to buy it apparently. And so, as you can see, the Goya Awards are the Spanish equivalent of the American awards, but much bigger apparently, and much heavier. In the movies he directed, each winner of the Best Animated Film, while not exactly successful worldwide, became the highest national animated films of all time, with the first being #1 in Spain. And other movies additionally won the Platino Awards, which prestigiously are the Ibero-American Annual Awards. And of course, Capture the Flag was the first animated film from Spain, in which it was distributed by a mainstream studio, which is Paramount. While the first Tadio film was released only nationally, and so the Tadio Jones 2 movie was released by the same company, but also like Capture the Flag was released internationally. And so each with software improving and updating, yet still very visually immersive. How does he works is that he uses CGI techniques. He uses CGI techniques that are typical standards in recent times, but with a stylized and immersive look that gives a sense of adventure with characters that give a lot of fun with the experience, with some sense of excitement, like his character Tadio Jones. And so the way how some you can see how can be identified with his works. They give a sense of comic strips in that are reminiscent to most of the comic strips that I mentioned, which is Super Lopez. And of course, what I like about his works is that he manageably crafts the execution and direction of the animated films with a cinematic standard coming from Hollywood and probably Pixar. And of course, the characters he has created is Tadio Jones, of course, what I said, a reference to Indiana Jones, and of course, Sarah Lavrov, which is a reference to the video game character Tomb Raider, which makes a strong female lead to his films. And of course, the problems that he has faced is that his movies are not very internationally credited or appreciated like other Hollywood films and Pixar films. And what went wrong with what has been wrong with Enrique Gato is that the lack of attention from other countries have even underestimated him by calling him a Pixar knockoff for the most part, despite of the immersiveness that he has manageably crafted in his own right. At the plus side, or should I say at the bright side, he has won 65 awards in his first Tadio Jones short film, including the already mentioned Goya, and apparently a BAFTA award, a British Academy Award, in a specific way. And of course, he became the first animation director to win the Best New Director at the Spanish Academy Awards, and established the Lightbox Animation Studios, which on the plus side he made the Lightbox Academy, in which helps aspiring artists to craft their own films with a variety of techniques, just like Disney has made with his studio, or even Scoutart, for example. But this one set in Spain, and so what I can say as a conclusion before the finale is that the Adventures of Tadia Jones became nationally the highest-grossing Spanish animated film and even franchise of all time, making Enrique Gato one of the most successful filmmakers in the animation medium. And so, let me show you some examples of his immersive works, shall we? Aquí vamos. As you can see, this is one of his early facial tests.
This must be the mummy's work. They're alive. I've seen them.
Don't be silly. If they were alive, they wouldn't be mummies. It's a contradiction in terms.
Whatever they are, they're here and been sheathed off.
And find the finale. Although I had to edit it a little bit to
take a picture when you get to the moon, okay? I'll get it on the front page of this cool paper. Done.
Can I ask, what are you two doing?
Grandpa, what are you doing here?
Have you gone crazy? You need to get out of here, now! What the heck did you do?
Operation in progress, sir. The rocket will launch without crew and will get lost in the infinite.
Perfect! Aye, aye, Mrs. President.
Can you help us open this, please?
It's no use. The ignition sequence is on. Mission control, do you copy? Franklin, return to the Apollo command module.
That's impossible. The rocket was set to launch 10 hours from now.
Call Goldwing.
Stop right there! You can't be here!
What happened?
Scott, don't panic, but
Someone has sabotaged the system. We can't abort the launch. Idiots, bound to hurt.
Mission control here. May I ask what you're doing in there, Captain? I was taking care of a couple of intruders. Intruders? Frank, who's there?
I found your son and his girlfriend inside the capsule.
time for pointless discussions. We've got two options. We go to the moon or we eject.
That will destroy the rocket.
We've been sabotaged. You won't believe who's behind this.
Stop Carson! Don't let him take off!
To all units, stop Richard Carson. I repeat, stop Richard Carson.
Okay, let's go, Gates.
1 minute for takeoff. Captain, activate eject mechanism.
Dad, please! We have to break the gold with curse!
Captain, activate it now.
Captain, what's going on?
I'm afraid they've sabotaged that as well. There's only one option. Let's go to the moon. The first thing we've agreed on in 40 years.
Okay, let's start launch protocol. Give me a go or no go for launch. ECOM.
Go.
Veto. Go. GNC.
Go.
Retro.
Does that mean we're going, Captain?
Commander, call me Commander. Let's get ready for launch.
Capcom.
Go.
Surgeon. Go. Guidance.
It's a go.
Go for flight.
No, I can't stay! I gotta go! My parents are gonna kill me! Amy, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity! You'll be the first woman on the moon!
Stop the yakety-yak, kids, and put on your suits.
Sir? Has anyone seen my lizard?
Ignition sequence start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. All engines running. 3, 2, 1.
Failure is not an option. Like that favorite movie of mine says best.
That it?
Yes.